this out, and I said, honestly, if, as a woman, if you are going to carry this booth by yourself, I definitely recommended going smaller. And she was like, no, I just feel like the bigger the booth, the more attraction, more people will want to use your services. I said, listen, at the end of the day, it's all about placement. I said, whether you have one person, two people, people are still going to have a good time regardless.
Okay.
I on my 80, I am able to fit 3 people.
Okay.
And if it's little kid, 3 adults. And if it's little kids, sometimes I'm able to do 4. So it all depends on, if it's an adult versus children. But for me personally, when you're having that big, and I have the black case, I just feel like it's 10 times heavier, to the point where I don't even travel with that case
Oh,
anymore.
forget that case. The flight case? Oh,
I don't do it.
man. No, the flight case alone is like, I think, close to 35 pounds, if not more than that.
Exactly. So I actually put it in my car because I have a Jeep. So I put it in the back. And then when it's time for me to take it out, I have a pulley. I flip the booth and put it into the pulley, and I just pull the pulley into the event space, whether it's backyard. And everyone's like, that's such a cute idea. I'm like, when you're operating alone, you got to just improvise.
What is what do you do as far as your full time goes? Because I feel like you have such a strong entrepreneur spirit and a sense of independence, right? Uh, what do
It's
you
so
do?
funny. I actually I work at a hospital. I work in healthcare.
You work in healthcare.
I'm
Okay.
actually a AVP for a department at a hospital.
Okay.
I always wanted to do something for myself personally, to
Good.
start like my own business. First I really wanted to start off and like maybe purchase property and do like, Airbnb. And I
Yes.
was like, with the economy being so shaky, I was just like kind of nervous making that big step to purchase property and anticipate, having that steady flow of income.
Yes.
So I was supposed to have something for my birthday last year, and I reached out to a photo booth person, and he was like, "Oh, for 4 hours, $1,200." I was like, "They're making this much money?
Yeah.
4 hours, $1,200?" And I was like, "Damn!" So I really wanted it. I ended up, paying. Later on, my mom got sick, so I ended up canceling.
Okay.
So I was just like, you know what? And I didn't get the deposit back. I told him, listen, I understand. But I was like, yo, there's money to be made out here. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, if he could do it, maybe, I could do this on my spare time. And I even thought, you know what? I'm going to get the photo booth, do a couple events by myself. And if I had that much traffic, then maybe I hire someone, and that person,
Yes.
does the work for me. Because I'm still new to this and I feel like I haven't mastered it myself, I don't want to involve other people yet until I feel like I truly believe like, yo, I've mastered everything. I know from beginning to end, set up to break down everything that's involved. So I'm not there yet. I would like to be future state though.
Yeah, no, you're gonna get there much faster than I think you can imagine, because just kind of you sharing your story with me and just getting to learn more about you as far as your characteristics. You have the drive, you have the vision, you have the ambition. So when you combine all those great ingredients, you're gonna get results. And so congratulations on where you're at so far and where you're gonna get to. Um, I see the entrepreneur spirit as far as you want to dive into, you want to become free from having to be somewhere all the time, and you want to focus on making a passive income. And I think a lot of us have that entrepreneur spirit and decided to do this because of the potential outcome. And like you said, it's a fun industry, and it's an industry that's very rewarding if you position your business correctly and your time is compensated handsomely. So I totally get what you're saying.
Exactly.
And it's like you said, once you start scaling, you start having employees, you can just be a dispatch manager, and you can be hanging out in different parts of the world, just running your business like right over the phone through your laptop. So that's big ups to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. And I'm sorry, I'm multitasking, trying to share the link with you, but I'm actually trying to look it up
Yeah.
using Google. And for
I
some
I
reason,
have my phone. If you want to send it to me on Instagram, I can watch it here. I have my phone right here in
okay,
front
I
of me.
apologize.
It's all good. Don't worry about it.
Okay, I just sent you like a
Gotcha.
DM on your page.
All right. I see it. Okay.
So I feel like one of the
I'm
things
watching it right
I
now.
need to work on is being just getting a full body. Like every time I see your videos, I'm like, I can literally see at least from head to your lower waist. And I said, I really feel like I need to perfect that.
Okay.
I did watch one of your videos in regards to how you set up your booth, and literally I did it the same way. I
Okay.
said the only difference I said it has to be, well, the last event I ended up using my iPad because those were the girls that wanted to see themselves. So I
Mm.
feel like maybe because my iPad was slightly positioned laid back,
Mm-hmm.
um, maybe that's why I couldn't get the full body.
Okay. Right here, you're using template number 5.
Template number 5. Yep.
Okay. I think the arm on your 360 booth might be slightly different from mine. I'd like for you to send me a photo of when you're at your next event, or when you're, at home. I want you to
Okay.
send me a photo of the entirety of your booth. I want you to kind of pan back
Okay.
so I can see how far the actual arm is from the booth and how low it is. I want to get a visual, is what I'm trying to
Got
say.
you.
So send me that, because if you have a different model, then I'm thinking there probably still a way to adjust that arm so that you can get, like you said, more of the body. Because you're using template number 5, and it looks a little close for like a template number 5.
It
These
does.
folks that were dancing it, they look a little. It looks a little closer than usual. So, show me that arm on that 360 booth, and
Okay.
I'll see if I can find room to set it back a little bit more. Now, what you can always do, and I don't highly recommend this, is go to it's called what's it called? It's like when you zoom out, and then
Mm-hmm.
what is it called? It slipped my mind. It's ultra wide view. There you go, ultra wide.
Okay.
We can have that done on our touch picks settings on our phone. But if you noticed, when you do that, the quality is not going to be as clear because it almost gets a little depixelated, and the
Got
HD
it.
is not there as rich as the standard view.
Got it.
So send me that info. And then have you done any? So this, I'm sure you had 2 events. Have you done any in the evening, nighttime?
The one that I did, my first event is when I did it at nighttime,
Okay.
and that's when the Wi-Fi was just horrible. Like that was my lesson learned event.
Okay. So this one that you sent, do you have footage from that event?
On my page, it's probably the very first. Hold on, let me go on my iPad.
Because I'm scrolling down, and
I think
okay,
I
I think I
own.
see it. I think I see it at the very very end on the right side. I think I see it here.
Yeah. And on top of that, the lounge didn't have that much space. So I couldn't even lay the stick of the joystick. I couldn't lay it back too far without hitting people that kept walking by. So I feel
Mm.
like that was another issue that I know moving forward when I get called for events, at just
Sure.
confirming how much space that
Right.
I think I need.
Eventually, you will have a website. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so on your website, that way when people go to your website, um, under requirements, here, let me share my screen with you really fast, okay?
Okay.
All right, you can see my screen?
Yeah.
All right, beautiful. Let's see. And I'm gonna definitely, I have to make time to start a brand new 360 booth website from scratch. That way I can start a series for, all the folks that are taking this business a lot more serious, and just seeing the value in having a website. If you go to the booking section right here on my website,
Mm-hmm.
you're watching this from a laptop?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. If you go to read more right here for
Mm-hmm.
all of my bookings, right here towards the bottom, see how I made this? I made it say
Yep.
I customize it where it says requirements. 10 by 10 feet space. That's minimum, and this is gonna help you set the expectation, and also this is gonna help your clients decide where are we gonna place a booth, because Sigrid needs at least 100 square feet.
Got it.
And if you don't have a website yet, of course, it's cool if you could just put it on. You can
The
include that
contract
in
that I send out.
contract as well, exactly. And then when you have, like, when you're on the phone with them as well, uh, just to kind of set the expectation and let them know, hey, my and what's cool too is you have an 80 centimeter booth, so that's gonna help out with how much space you truly need in comparison. If you had 115 booth, that needs to be a little farther out, more space, a little wider.
Yeah, the first event was the 100, and I was like, this is not gonna work. Like the space was so tight. So that really made me say, I need to go back, potentially get something smaller, but moving forward, just have people confirm that there'll be enough space for the photo booth.
Yeah. So, and it looks like you were using like a template, maybe number 4, I think, or maybe template number 3 from
Oh,
our.
for the first event, I think I used template number 2. And I think that it's not
Okay.
until after that event I started researching, and that's when I landed on your page and I started using template number 5.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So yeah, it definitely looks like a whole different template. But and some people actually use template number 2. Um, I like template number 5 a lot because it's just more compatible with TikTok and Instagram, as far as posting it on social media, including Snapchat and stuff like that. That longer template is it seems more compatible on more platforms. Um, Definitely. So
Got it.
with that being said, as far as the template, the settings, and then we talked about the phones as far as if you needed a secondary line, uh, and then what other challenges are you experiencing?
Um, I had, so as you can see, one of the events was outside in a backyard.
Okay.
Thank God the person had a place for me to plug.
Okay.
But would you recommend purchasing like a portable battery, especially for summertime? I'm noticing a lot of folks that are reaching out to me are having barbecues, and I
Okay.
don't want to rely on needing to plug somewhere. So I'm thinking about purchasing a portable battery.
Yes, please do. If it's
Okay.
within your budget, go with the
Yep.
Talent Cell. I'm gonna go ahead and let's see here. Maybe I can go to maybe I can send you the link really fast.
Okay.
Let's see here. Let's see. Go to orders. Go to Talent Cell. I bought one and then I bought a secondary one just to have it as backup. Um, this is gonna allow you, Sigrid, to be portable. Let me go ahead and
Got
grab this.
it. That's what I figured. Okay.
Let me grab this here, copy, and let's go back to the Zoom here. Okay, I'm gonna put this right in here. Let me know if it takes you to the item here. Okay, sent your way.
Got it.
Yeah, I bought 2 of those. I started off with one,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them, depending on how many spins I'm doing at the party, of
Mm-hmm.
course, the more you work it, the more battery it takes up. But for the most part, I can tell you that you can get easily you can get 2 hours using that
Nice.
portable
Okay.
battery. I like having a backup just because there's been events where it's been 3 hours and there's just constantly just my booth is just
Back to
constantly running, you know. And it's also eating up a little bit of the power because of the LED light strip in the bottom. I don't know if your booth has that. If it doesn't, it's gonna
yeah.
give you a longer life expectancy because you're only running the motor and not the LED lights.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so
And
definitely want to get one of those, and it has so many pros to it because it gives you the freedom and flexibility to set up almost anywhere. And the fact that you haven't bought anything extra that requires that plug, you're not using the external screen just yet, right? Like a big.
no,
Okay. I'll always tell people, hey, work with what you got. See how your clients react. See your market. See your competitors, and then slowly start scaling. Don't overwhelm yourself with debt and try to be the best from the very jump. Just like I said, adapt and really be aware of who your competition is and what they're providing and what their rate is. And then once you get that down, then you can use that to your advantage because what you're going to do later in is you're going to go back in there and see, okay, where is the room for opportunity for me to really
hmm
shine and get creative.
got it. And one last question. Do you do the countdown or like the manual trigger? Like, are you using the remote to start the
Yeah.
photo? Okay.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, are you asking me if I'm using the feature on TouchPix where the motion triggers
With the
the?
motion trigger, yes.
Yeah,
Or are you manual?
I always use the motion trigger. Always since I started, I've always used the motion trigger. I just like it
Okay.
because it gives them the chance to prep and the chance for me to actually have the thing in motion. And
Okay.
so what I feel is when it barely starts to go rotate, and then it triggers, and then it gives you the countdown 3, 2, 1. I feel that when it starts rolling around, people's energy go up. Like they get excited, like, oh, it's an
Got
action.
it.
And I always tell them, it's not recording right away. When I say action, that's when you guys go ahead and act a fool on camera, make eye contact with the phone, and do whatever you want to do. Just please don't jump on the booth and don't step out of the booth until I say clear. Uh, so yes, um, I
Okay.
use the motion trigger all the time, all the time.
I think those are all the questions I have, David. I
Okay,
appreciate you taking the time.
now let's freestyle it because I'm sure.
Okay.
So you have social media set up. I see that you have your Instagram, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have your Instagram, and you just recently started your Facebook as well, right?
Right.
Okay. What about YouTube?
No, I haven't started that yet.
Okay, I want you to start a YouTube channel,
Okay.
based off your business, because let's see, let's check something out. Is my screen still being shared with you? No.
No.
All right, let's go ahead and share it with you. There we
Okay.
go. Okay. So let's check out some of your competition. So you have me
I'm
here
sure I have
scroll.
plenty.
Yeah, let's go ahead and check out what city and state are you in?
Brooklyn, New York, the best one there is.
Brooklyn, New York. Let's see. I just want to see something here. Brooklyn, New York.
So Buffalo Avenue, yep, that's Brooklyn.
Okay, so this person is I'm interested here, and I want to show you something too before you get started on your website. You see how there's a straight out 360 photo booth rental?
Mm-hmm.
This might not be their business name, but they're smart because they're using a solid keyword right here, and this keyword is considered a long tail keyword because it has 1, 2, 3, 4 words in this phrase. So see
Okay.
how they have absolutely no reviews, but they're still here at the very, very top. This is
Mm-hmm.
great for them. I don't understand why they don't have reviews yet, but and they're in an apartment as well, as you can see. So you definitely need to get on Google My Business if you're not on here yet. And I'm gonna say you probably haven't set it up yet.
No.
Okay, please do by tonight if possible. What we want to do is we always want to take advantage of ways that are going to give us maximum exposure online so that we can make it easier for people to find us,
Okay.
right? Because that's what it's about. It's about one, how visible are we to our demographics, to our potential clients. And if you're barely starting off, I totally get it, but let's also utilize and be resourceful, and utilize every tool that we can to get maximum exposure without having to spend money on ads and stuff like that. So, and then I scroll down, Oviation photo booth right here. Keep on going down. We have NY photo party. Let's keep on going down. Okay, so you haven't have you named your business already, but that's a doing business as. So when you set it up right here on
Mm-hmm.
Google and Yelp, what you want to do is this. You want to include with here 360 booth
Right.
or 360 booth rental, and then your city.
Got it.
That way, when people are looking, 360 booth Brooklyn, because that's going to be your head title on your Google. It doesn't necessarily have to be the name of your business, but that's the way you're setting it up on Google. Google's gonna go ahead and start indexing, and then you're gonna be categorized as a vendor, as a 360 booth vendor, a service. And once you start on your Google, and this is so easy, you're a smart gal, so I think this is probably gonna take you maybe about 15 minutes to set up. And then
Okay.
once you set up your Google page, and let me go on to mine here. I'm gonna point a few things out here, and hopefully
Okay.
you can remember to do some of these things here. So here
Yeah,
I
I'm
am.
typing as you're talking.
Okay, so here I am, and I want to go ahead and move this here to the side. So as you can see, you notice I put 360 photo booth rental,
Got it.
but the business name is Canary Capital Rentals. But because no one cares about Canary Capital Rentals or knows what Canary Capital Rentals is, I
Mm-hmm.
put it at the very end. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to rank for this right here, 360 photo booth rental. And that's the reason I did it with intention, and I set it up this way here. For
Okay.
you, I would say do the 360 booth rental or 360 booth and then your city.
Okay.
And then when you do that, as you scroll down, you'll see that there's a party equipment rental. That's the category I'm in. You can add this category. Make sure you at least
Oh,
have one category, because right now we're
okay.
trying to get you indexed by Google so that you can get more traffic coming your way, more phone calls, more messages, more emails. Okay.
Got it.
And after the party rental equipment service, also maybe add photography, just in case some of that trickles down your way, and you can let them know, I don't have a photo booth, but I have an extraordinary 360 booth that's going to provide 360 booth content. You'll get what I'm saying, because you'll learn how to work with what you got. And then for the
Got it.
address, I highly recommend I
Okay.
highly recommend you use an address, because that address, remember, Google is going to say, okay, this
Well,
individual is inquiring, and he or
address
she is
wasn't
only,
detected in the front part.
10-mile radius from
Hmm.
Sigrid, right? And then they'll show your listing. So make sure you don't leave your address out, please.
Got it.
Make sure you fill out all your information, the hours, your phone number, and eventually you are going to have a website.
Right.
Also, keep in mind that Google is going to provide you with a free website if you want to just use their little landing page, which also helps in the meantime.
Got it.
For every event moving forward, I want you to have a goal to get at least minimum 2 reviews, and ask for these reviews right after the folks get off the platform, and then they see their booth, their production, and when they're
Hmm.
laughing, having a good time, that's when you say, okay, good. And what's going to happen is those people are going to come back around. Believe me when I say they're going to come back around, because now they're comfortable, they got excited, they want more footage. So this is what you're going to do. When they come back around for the second time, they get on the booth and have
Hmm.
your QR code ready, so they can go onto your website and I'm sorry, onto your Google page and give you a 5-star review. This is what you do. When they come off the booth and now they're waiting for their video to be rendered, right? And that usually takes close to like maybe 45, 50 seconds sometimes. Now that they're excited, they know what it's about, they like you, what you do is, by the way, can you guys please help me with the review? If you guys just scan this and you guys could just help me, just 5-star review takes 20 seconds. They're going to be more than happy to leave a review that's going to take them what, maybe 10 seconds. And just do this. Make sure when they leave you a 5-star review, make sure that they use keywords like 360 booth or 360 photo booth. That way, these reviews amplify your Google page.
Searching.
Yeah,
Got it.
because the algorithm's gonna say this is associated with this, and it's all about, like I said, being indexed and having signals communicate with each other. And that's why I asked you earlier. Does your Facebook point to your Instagram and vice versa? The more signals your platforms, then the bigger the web you have, because it's a net that you have, and everything sends signals back and forth, and then it drives traffic to that net that you have, and you're able to capture more potential prospects. And that's one thing
Got it.
that you really have to really focus on, and that's somewhere aligned online marketing with SEO. But like I said, right
Hmm.
now, try not to spend so much money on ads by doing all this stuff organically.
Got
Okay,
it.
so definitely jump on that, and then of course enter your information, because this right here, uh, description, has keywords as well. As you can see, 360 photo booth right here. That's definitely on there. The word rentals is on there. And then I'll go ahead and send you photos and videos to your Instagram. That way you can start posting videos and photos of Instagram on your Google, and post at least twice a week. And when you post on Google, you got to treat it like a social media. Like it has to constantly, you have to post, and then the algorithm will reward you for that. Believe me when I say that.
Got it.
Um, so yeah, so definitely please do that. And on your YouTube, when you start your YouTube, you know how you have existing videos already?
Hmm.
Get those videos and then just cut them into like 10-second snippets, and then post like twice a week as well on your YouTube page. And on your YouTube page, make sure you're including your Instagram. You're going to be including your link to your Google page as well. You can
Okay.
every link that you have from every social media platform. Let's see here. Make sure you plug it into your video description, because like I said, the algorithm, and it sends signals to the, I'm trying to minimize this here so that I can get on to, like I said, it's, you want to get those constant signals. Here, I'm just going to go in a quick video just to show you an example of what I mean. I'm going to pause this here. You can still see my screen, right, Sigrid?
Yeah.
All right, sweet. So if you go down here, if you notice how I have my TikTok, my Instagram, my Facebook, and my website.
Yeah.
Okay, so once you start your YouTube page, you can go onto the settings and upload defaults and have this always generated automatically. That way you don't have to constantly come back in here,
Keep on
copy
adding
and
it.
paste,
Got it.
copy and paste. Yeah, so do that. That way every time you post a video, this information is already in. Another thing you want to do is this. So 360 booth. Let's see, Victorville. Did I type Victorville correctly? Okay, so this is what you want to do. On your YouTube videos, you want to type in 360 booth or photo booth and then your city.
City. Okay.
The reason you want to do that is when people type that in into the search bar, it's going to show them you're going to end up on the very first page of Google, and they're going to see your video. See how it ranks? These are all my videos right here. 1, 2, 3. So these are all my videos. So someone clicks on my video here,
Mm-hmm.
then they're like, "Oh, cool, that looks awesome. I wonder. Let me get some more information." They go into your description.
And then
Look at
click.
how I put hashtags. So yours will be 360 booth hashtag Brooklyn, New York, hashtag Brooklyn, and then you see how I still have my website and everything else. So this sends signals, and then eventually, when your website is up and running, once you start doing this, this is going to be called a citation, a live citation. The more citations a website has, the more relevant your website's going to be, and the more
Okay.
it's going to be put in people's faces, so they can potentially, hopefully book with you, because that's the name of the game, is gain as many bookings as possible.
Got it.
You know, so I know I talk fast and I get excited, but I'm just trying to give you as much information as possible while I have you here with me one on one, because my life has changed drastically, and it's been difficult for me to keep up with every individual. This is something I really have to admit. So when I'm here one on one with you guys, I really try to pour as much as I can. And I know some of it sounds overwhelming because we're experiencing something for the very first time in our lives, and that creates stress, anxiety, and all those emotions. But at the same time, just kind of learning who you are, I feel like you understand that that's what it takes to have growth. It's growing pains. You're learning something new. And it's going to get
Yeah.
to a point where you're going to get this down so good, so well, that when you do hire employees and they want to do certain things, because you know the infrastructure, right away you're going to be able to coach them, and that way they won't do anything sneaky as well, because hey, no, this only should take this long, X, and then you're going to go, you're going to be giving monitoring, supervising from a point where you already been through it, and you want to set the expectation, and you want to inspire them to do a better job, because they're representing your brand, right? And the last thing you want is a bad review or a bad experience.
Exactly.
You want to teach them too, like, hey, if you run into this issue, you could do this, this, and this. So that way they become as good as you, and now you have someone that you can really rely on. Then maybe you can promote them to manager, pay them more money. You can make a little less, but there'll be more events, so there'll be more volume, and you can still make decent passive income, because you'll be putting more trust and investing in individuals and giving them a position where they can really have a leadership position. Because I see you expanding. I see it in you, and then eventually you can rack up enough money, and then we can start buying some property. Because that's where it's
That's the
at.
ultimate. That's the ultimate goal. We'll see. I mean, I'm starting off slow, and I just want to be able to master it for myself from beginning to end, and then see where I can take this.
Absolutely, absolutely. So please do that as far as your online presence goes.
Definitely. You gave me some homework to do, so I'm definitely going to work on everything this evening and over the weekend. So I do appreciate you taking the time out to meet with me.
Oh no, it's a pleasure, and like I said, thank you for your patience. I did get caught up. We still have 10 minutes left. If you can think of anything, just right off the bat, or ask me maybe just business related, or I'm here for you. I want to make sure I stay
I'm
here.
looking at my notes, literally, I have a couple of questions, but as we were talking, you were answering them. So I'm like, okay, don't need to talk about that. We talked about one of my questions was about promotion. So we talked about that as well.
Yeah, promotion is a big deal. And like I said, if you use those strategies I shared with you, and by the way, Sigrid, with your consent, I'll go ahead and post this on YouTube. And if you can send me all of your handles from all your social media, I'll put that in the YouTube, so people can also reach out to you and maybe they'll have one like some way you guys can network, and also just kind of reach out to you to just let you know like, hey, this works for me. And I always tell people, like, even though you guys might be repping the same city, use each other as almost like a
Definitely.
partnership, as networking, because it's going to get to a point where, and this is where I'm at right now, is that I'm still operating with one booth, and I I'm turning down business because I can only be at one place at one time for a certain amount of period. So that's been challenging. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you have a backup team, because eventually that's going to happen to them, and then they'll reach out to you and say, hey, are you available this Saturday? And
I
then
don't think everyone thinks like that. Unfortunately, it's almost like everyone is for themselves. I feel
right.
like, and I'm not sure if it's a New York City thing.
Yeah, New
Um,
York
you
City
know,
is
People are
so
very competitive.
yes,
Um,
yes,
and
absolutely.
not to say they don't want to share, but it's almost like they don't want to tell you what they did. Like at my event, someone came up to me. It was a photographer for the baby shower. And he said, listen, how did you get your photo booth? I was interested in doing it, but I'm kind of scared, trying to get, a big piece of equipment overseas from China. And then, we talked about it. I sent him the information that you shared. And, I didn't think twice about it.
Hmm.
But that's just me. Because at the end of the day, if I'm able to help one other person,
Sure,
make that leap,
sure.
hey, maybe it'll come back to me times 10. So that's how I think, but unfortunately not everyone thinks that way. So but I see where you're coming from.
I really so here's my input is I think you're right on. I think that different parts of the state, different parts of the planet in general have a different culture, different point of view when it comes to business and just sportsmanship and all, because business is a sport. And here's the thing. You live in an area that's, like you said, you kind of get that vibe. It's just very competitive. It's like, it's all about me. Like, there's no way on earth I'm gonna send business your way. Why would I do that? That's like money that's not in my bank account. You can see it that way, and I understand why you're seeing it this way. But check this out. When I moved out here to San Bernardino, there was people that have been in the game longer than I have. So, but what I did was this: I put my heart out there, and I opened up this channel. I opened up this frequency, meaning I wanted to do something different. So what I did is I started reaching out to everyone that had already a business here, a 360 booth business. I introduced myself. I told them what
Mhm.
I did. And so when I let my guard down, and when I showed them like, hey, if there's anything that I can do in the future to kind of help you with your business, I basically told them like, yes, we might be competitors, but at the same time, we share a very similar dream and we provide a very unique service. And that's to make as many people as happy as possible so that they can have those memories for the rest of their lives. And what I ended up doing was I ended up connecting with individuals who had a similar heart and maybe didn't want to come out and say like, oh, I'm here to help you out. But because I put myself and I was transparent, I can tell you that if I wouldn't have done that, I would not have had the type of network I have now, because I wouldn't have put that flag out there like, hey, this is me. This is what I stand for. You guys might like me. You guys probably see me as a threat, or you guys can see me as a backup, as a homie, and we can network and
Together.
generate business together. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, yes, I understand that business is competitive and maybe not everyone has that mentality, but you won't know until you put yourself
Right.
out there and give people the opportunity to work with you, because there might be individuals who have similar values than you do, but you wouldn't know unless you go out there and you put yourself out there. So that's how I was able to meet with business owners and seasoned 360 booth operators. And ever since then, I've been sending business their way. And there's been times where they send business my way and I actually book those clients. And we never asked each other for, hey, I'll send you someone, but if you can give me $100 like a finder's, none of that shit. So it's like
Mhm.
it's straight up like, I can't do it, bro. I hope it's a good match for you, man. Here's her information. She needs, for these hours. And then I'll give them the information. I'll be like, thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Cool, man. Boom. And then sometimes a client will reach out to me like, hey, thank you for the referral. I was able to book. I appreciate you. And this is about helping people. So try to kind of shift your mind a little bit and be a little bit more daring to kind of like step out of that place where,
Right.
let me set my frequency. Let me open up my channel and see who I can gravitate towards and who can gravitate towards me, because this is my frequency. This is what I stand for. And trust me, there's going to be people with similar minds, similar hearts, and you'll start networking with them. And then you're going to realize, I'm glad I was transparent. I put myself out there because I just got a booking from that person that I took the time to introduce myself to and talk to about business.
Okay.
There you have it. So, but yeah, I know New York, Brooklyn is a tough city. It's like super
It
tough, but
definitely is. And there's not a lot of female photo booth operators
yeah, big ups
that
to
I've
you.
known, so I got to represent for the women out there that are
Please
trying
do.
to, jump into a field like this.
Yeah, I really, really love that about you. Seriously, like everything you shared with me too is very, very inspirational. Especially like you said, you're in a rough city. You're doing this solo, and just everything that you shared with me is like to me, it stirs up that excitement. Cause believe it or not, for me, it's like I do so much things. I feel like I'm on autopilot, but when I really have time with like one individual and I really get to like know about them and their struggles and their point of view, it stirs up something in me, and it's like I always, every time I get off a one on one, I'm just very happy for the rest of the day because it's like I was able to connect someone at a deep level, not just surface conversation, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, cool. All right, now I feel like okay, we can get off now. I shared as much as I could, given some
Thank
of the
you.
questions you asked me.
Yeah, and I definitely, off topic, I definitely wanted to send my condolences to you. I recently lost my mother, so I definitely understand what you're going through.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm just using this also to motivate myself because I know my mom would be pushing me and be like, "You can do this, Sigrid." So I'm also, using her as a driving force to help me, push myself to get this done. And I'm like, I know I'm doing this for my mother. I know she would want to see me succeed in this.
Hey man, same here. Same here. So yeah, you're absolutely right. I think we can use it as a guide, as a drive, and as a reminder that our parents' energy still resides and it's still flowing. And this is all
Hmm.
this is one of the few ways we can show them like, hey, I know you have my back, and I know that I'm gonna move forward, and I'm gonna take a leap of faith because if I fall, I'm gonna fall, in your arms. So I'm the same way with you. Like I get really lonely sometimes and sad, and I don't like going there because I can really like soak up something that is sad, or I can really soak up something that's like motivation. It's just I'm an extremist that way. But at the
Hmm.
end, you're right. It's like our moms are continuously like by us because we are a piece of them. We were born, we came from them. So no matter what, we still hold them dearly in our DNA, in our body, in our spirit. So I second that, and I'm glad you see life that way. And I think that's why you decided to go into this industry because you realize that there's a unique, it takes a unique set of skills and point of view to have a successful business. And everything you shared with me is like you're gonna probably be in a situation really soon where you're gonna have more work than you can handle.
Speaking that into existence from your mouth
Amen.
to God's ears. I hope so.
Amen. Well, other than that, it was a pleasure meeting you.
It
Uh,
was definitely, again, thank you so much for taking the time out. I will definitely keep you updated and I'm going to send you the picture. I'll set up the photo booth at home so I can take some pictures for you.
Yeah, and then as far as the lighting goes on that the one you did during the evening, at the first event that you had, were you using a U200 light, RGB lights? What were you using for the lighting?
So literally the space was so small, I didn't have enough space to even add the lighting.
Okay.
Like they had me in a small little corner of the lounge and I was like, it's kind of dark here. And then, the birthday person was like, don't worry, I'm not turning off the lights. So I just literally had the light from the photo booth, the
The one it came with the ring light,
the one that came with it. No, the one that you recommended,
the
the
U200,
U2000. Yep,
U200. Okay.
U200.
All right,
But I
cool.
felt like it wasn't enough. I wanted to use the portable lights
Hmm.
because it was kind of dark. The walls were painted black, so it was. I felt like there wasn't enough light
Okay.
focused on the people on the booth. But again, I
So
had limited space, but I know now.
share that point of view with your future clients. Let them know that you do have RGB lights, and I don't know, do you have three or four? How many do you have?
I have three.
You have three. Tell them like I have three RGB lights. These lights are gonna help the production come out even better because it's gonna bring out the colors in your clothing. It's just gonna add
Mm-hmm.
a glamour to it. So I'll always kind of like get them excited over the phone, and then they'll book with you, and then you bring your equipment and you deliver on what you said. So yeah,
Okay.
definitely. I think if you would have included those three RGB lights,
It would have
uh,
looked better.
the quality would have looked probably 20 25% better. Uh, Trust me, because I know how much of a difference it makes, and you don't have to always set them up as at their maximum brightness as well.
I
So
remember you
just
said
just
that.
continue to experiment. I'm gonna continue to put out videos and show you guys what I'm learning with my journey, and I want to thank you for your time, and I hope you have an incredible weekend.
You as well. Thank you again.
All right, take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.